What is going on, everyone? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and we have an interesting post here to talk about. Someone that follows my channel that I talk with brought this one up to me, and it happens to be in one of the groups that I'm part of. This is from the CGC Comics fans group, and the reason I decided to talk about this one is this has to do with the rant that I made recently on my live stream and in one of my other follow-up videos. And this is about selling your collection. And so now I am a dealer. I do buy and sell comic books. And so it's kind of a weird topic to talk about to be someone who's kind of against this or trying to make sure people get the most for their books, but it's something that I see and it bugs me. And so I want to make sure I put this information out there. If you still choose to make the decision to sell your books, quicker to a dealer or whatever, that's fine. But I want people to have the information to make an educated decision. So this post here says, "Hi everyone, I'm considering selling my collection of Golden Age comic books to make a real estate purchase. Is selling these all separately going to be a far better approach? What platform would be best? Does it make any sense to press or grade them first? These are all currently completely raw books with average grades in the 2.5 to 3.5 range, probably would be my guess. What do you think rough ballpark someone might pay for these sold as one big lot as they sit versus individually?" So if you're going to sell these all as one big lot, just, it's going to go to a dealer. They are buying them because they are going to make money. That's the thing. Like, you always have to understand that, is that a dealer isn't coming to you because they're your friend or they're your buddy or whatever, trying to help you out. They are coming there because this is a business decision for them. They're buying these books because they are going to resell them and make more money off of them. And that's fine. That's completely fine. That is a legitimate, reasonable business. However, there are certain types of collections that, in my opinion, you should not go through a dealer with. And this is one of them. And so there are some collections where there's huge amounts of volume, and I get it. Like, that's a huge pain to sell. You have to have a ton of experience to be able to pick out the keys and everything. That's not what this is. You can see here, this is a small number of books, relatively high dollar, Golden Age rare comics. This is just like that collection from Underneath the Stairs. That collection, in my opinion, none of those books should have ever been sent to a dealer. They should have been sent to Heritage. Let Heritage have them pressed and cleaned, or Comic Link or whatever, get them graded, sell them on their site, get the maximum amount of money for your books, because in that case, it was books that belonged to that person's grandparents. And given this person's, it seems, unfamiliarity with comics, I am guessing that this collection also probably came from a relative, whether it's grandparents or whatever. So if you have these books, if that person, from your family saved all of these, do not give that money to a dealer. All right. Like it's not hard to sell these things, especially if you go through one of those platforms. They have consigners that will help you, that will make it very simple to do. Don't need to go through a dealer to sell this type of stuff. There is a lot of money here. And if somebody spent their lifetime or their childhood or whatever, putting these together, saving them for your family, do them the honor of getting the most for the books for your family. I mean, we've got some books here like Captain America #5. I mean, right here, we've got a Captain America #5. We have this, you have a number of key issues. You've got this run of the first appearance and kind of like origin story for Captain Marvel Jr. I mean, these books, he said 2.5 to 3, but I bet a lot of them are actually a decent bit nicer than that. You've got Marvel Mystery Comics, Captain America, you've got Master Comics, Young Allies. I mean, lots of Schomburg covers, just some really incredible books. So, I mean, we'll take a close look at some of these. Like, I know this book I've seen sell a couple times. It's a pretty rare book. You've got just some early Captain America. The skiing cover is always real popular. You've got the Marvel Mystery Comics, Wiz Comics. You've got a Batman 11. I mean, that book alone, depending on the grade, $5,000 to $10,000. Like, you should get that money. Do not sell this to a dealer. Like, I'm just telling you this. Like, do not try to lump sell this to a dealer. I mean, and it's like, I get it. Like, it can be tempting to get a big lump sum of cash all at once. But if you saw with that Adventure Comics 46, that sold on Heritage this weekend, that book sold for $50,000. I mean, it happened to be one of the nicest graded copies in existence that came from that collection underneath the stairs. And I can just tell you, like, that original owner did not get anywhere near that money. Like, I can just guarantee it. Now, I hope that the person goes back and gives them something, whatever. But I mean, it's just that type of stuff. It really just rubs me the wrong way. I mean, look at these. Like, the colors are fantastic. Like, this does not appear to be a 2.5 to 3 book. Even if that cover is detached, it's probably a 3.5. And it does, and it's probably not detached. I mean, look at this one, Marvel Mystery 21. Like, this is not a 2.5 to a 3 appearance book. These look very, very nice. And so, like, there could be, I mean, I didn't price any of this stuff out, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is well over $100,000 in comics sitting on that bed right there, and probably a decent amount more than that. So, I mean, it's just what you do in a situation like this is you could handle it all yourself. All right. Because that's one of the questions here that he's asking, because yes, it can be expensive to get all those books graded. I mean, these are all going to be probably in the unlimited tier, but at least in the high value tier. And so it's going to cost you $100+ per book to get them graded. You're going to want to get them pressed and clean first, not by CGC, because I would not trust CGC with the older Golden Age books like this. Personally, you'd want to have them done by a private presser, and so it's going to be a decent amount of money potentially up front. So depending on how you want to handle that, if you want to sell them individually yourself, like on eBay or something like that, you would start off with just a couple of the books. You would get them pressed and cleaned, graded. I would probably do the like the Batman 11, because that one is going to, let's find that one here. So that book right there is going to be one of the more expensive books probably on here. I mean, you got the Cap 5 too. Captain America 5 is going to be an expensive book too. Maybe you do those too, right? You get those pressed and cleaned and graded, and that's probably going to cost you maybe $500, maybe a little less than that. We'll guess $500. But out of that, you get, who knows, 20,000. And so now you have the cash on hand to handle all of it yourself. Like, you can get all those books pressed and cleaned and graded with that money. I'm sure you'd still probably have some money left over afterwards. And then now you've got all the sales there, and all of that becomes profit for those books. The other thing you can do, because this person's talking about a real estate deal, if they're concerned a little bit more with time, then what you would do, I would recommend, is going through something like Comic Link or Heritage, where I believe one of the ways that you can work it out with them is that they can have your books pressed and cleaned, graded, put into an auction, and they will just back out the fees for those services from the final sales price. So you're not putting any money up front. And then a lot of times, at least from what I understand from like Heritage, they will give you money up front, a percentage of what they think those books might sell for. So you could get some cash up front if you really needed it. And then they also would cover those expenses. Now, you'd have to reach out to them and talk to their consigners and everything to get the details. But there are ways to get this done where you don't have to put out any money up front if you want to go that route. Now, the different auction platforms have different fee structures. I mean, like Comic Link, I think theirs is like right now a base 10% fee, but they do charge more if you have these other services that are being done. Heritage is the 20% buyer's premium, plus it's something like a 10 or 15% seller's fee. But if you're bringing them a lot of books like this, like these are nice books that people love to see in auctions, that people are going to be interested in, it's going to bring more eyes in, I'm sure they will give some type of break on those fees. And so I don't know what that would be. Maybe they waive the seller's fee, and so you've only got the 20% buyer's fee, or maybe they waive the seller's fee and even a little bit of the buyer's fee or the buyer's premium. And so then you get an even little better deal. It all depends. Like, I don't know if there's restoration in these. I don't really know the actual condition, but they just do look nicer than what is being suggested as a 2.5 to a 3. It's possible there's lots of split spines and stuff, and maybe they're lower grades, but the colors and everything imply that these are probably nicer than that. And there is some pretty significant value sitting on that, that bed there in this stack of comics. So if you have a small set of high dollar books like this, I'm just telling you, you don't need to go through a dealer. You don't need to lose 50%, 60%. I mean, in reality, like they'll probably pay you 40% of value, maybe less. Like, I mean, for raw books, because they're going to say like, oh, I'm taking on some risk and I've got all these grading fees and everything like that. Like, if there's say $100,000 in books here, just pretend maybe there's more, maybe there's less. You'd probably be lucky to get 30 to 40. Lucky. But if you handle this yourself, you probably can come out of it with 60 or 70 after all the fees and everything. So, and that's just at 100,000. This could be more than that. So yeah, if you need the cash like immediately and you're willing to throw that $30,000 in the garbage to get that cash right away, I guess that's the route you can go. But I mean, with a collection like this, which, like I said, I think that this probably came from a family member. It gives that impression based on the post. Try to do them the honor of getting the most value for what they put aside and saved. That's just my take on this. But that's not what everybody's route that they go with. Some people just want that money up front, and it's different depending on the collection. Like I said, like this is similar to that collection under the stairs. It's like a small set of high dollar books. If you've got 10,000 comics, just boxes and boxes of stuff, like, yeah, that is a huge pain and you probably don't want to deal with it. Now you're going to sell that for like 10% of value, at best, probably to a dealer, but then you're not dealing with all the work that goes with it. But with this, it's just not that much work. So maximize your value and get it graded yourself, get them pressed yourself. I mean, there's lots of great pressers out there. I mean, just a couple recommendations that I have. I use the Comic Book Presser. That's the presser that I've used for a lot of my submissions. There's Rocket Comics that I had my last couple books sent to through Flip Mode. There's Impressive Comic Books. I think he's up in, I don't know where he lives now, if he's still up in New York or what, but there's Impressive Comic Books. He does an incredible job, and my brother has used him for a long time, and he recommended him to me as well. I believe Aaron AA Comics uses him. So there are, and the Sanderson Studios. I probably wouldn't use Sanderson for a large volume like this. He tends to be, you're going to want to send him if you have like a couple really high-end books you want work done on. But with large volume like this, I'd probably recommend one of the other pressers. But yeah, you've got those pressers. You send them into CGC, get them graded, and then you can either sell them on eBay or send them to Heritage, Comic Link, Comic Connect, whatever, and just get the most for your books. So hopefully this helps someone out. Like I'm going to keep ranting about this stuff. Like when I see collections like this, I want those original owners to get their money's worth. But if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and I will see you on the next one.